Okay, so coming in with a list video. We like a good list video every now and then on FTTR. Please hit subscribe for more wrestling content. It would mean a lot. Please like the video. That would also mean a lot. Let me know if you disagree with me, because this is going to have some potentially spicy takes. So we shall see, and let's get on with it. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about AEW. We are talking about 5 missed opportunities within AEW. This could be storyline, talent, absolutely everything. Anything I think is a missed opportunity I have put on this list, and I've picked my top 5, the 5 that bother me the most. Okay, so that's the way I'm going to go from 5 to 1, my least bothersome to my most bothersome, but they all bother me at the end of the day. Now, I don't mean for this to be a week of me bashing AEW, because I kind of did in my last video, but I'm kind of feeling a bit like I need to get this off my chest. I need to get some of these missed opportunities off my chest, because they've come into my head recently. I've been thinking about them a bit. So yeah, I just want to go into them, starting off with a weird number. It's not 5, it's 5.5. So the reason I've gone with 5.5 for this is because it's a tiny detail for me that really bothered me when it first happened. So this is about the JAS, in particular, the music, because I thought it was the perfect opportunity to retire Judas as we know it. Having Jericho come out of the JAS for the first time, you hear the Judas intro, and then it turns into a remix. That would cause mega heat from the fans who don't get to sing along to Judas. I thought that was perfect, especially with what was going on in WWE, with them taking people's names and taking people's music away, like Keith Lee, Ciampa, changing it all up. I thought that would have been perfect to get some heel heat on Chris Jericho, and then it'd make the babyface turn that's inevitably coming at some point down the line even sweeter when he brought the music back. So yeah, little bit of an issue, that one for me, but it's only a 5.5. So shall we just get into the top 5? Coming in at number 5, one that really bothered me, and this is very recent, is the handling of Kip Sabian and his return. So he was stood at numerous wrestling shows with a box on his head, and he just took it off one day and attacked Pac. That was it. We got one video package from him, a promo sort of explaining the box. That was it. And he lost. He lost to Pac. A huge wasted opportunity, especially with how long he was there with the box on his head. He was there for like a year, just standing at ringside, clapping and everything. And what a waste of time to just have him lose in his first match back. Because Kip Sabian is an incredibly talented wrestler, and he's a really good promo as well. This could have been like a breakout performance for him. Have him attack someone big. Have him attack like Mox or Hangman and get him into a top feud to try and get him over a bit more, rather than have him lose for a belt that doesn't really mean that much against someone who's been booked in the mid-card of AEW. You've had him there for a year, have him attack someone big. Even if he loses that match, he feels like he's putting an effort, and you could do some more furthering of a feud like that, but he's not been seen since. So Kip Sabian with a box on his head is easily my number 5. So number 4 is kind of low-hanging fruit, because everyone says it, and any list wasted opportunities, disappointments with AEW is going to have this on, and it is, of course, the women's division, because the women's division has been booked pretty poorly for the majority of its run. I can't think, apart from maybe Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, and that was just the matches. I don't think there's been a truly compelling story in the AEW women's division since its inception, because it hasn't been booked with finesse and, you know, attention to detail, anything like that. And I think they've been, you know, phoning it in. Tony Khan's been phoning it in with the booking, because it's been 3 years now. We should be having at least 2 matches per Dynamite. Like, that should just be a standard. They just keep getting relegated to that hour 10, hour 20-minute slot. They have a match, maybe a video package promo, and that's it. Completely fumbling the women's division time after time. And then people come in like Athena, like Ruby Soho, like Toni Storm. Toni Storm's sort of the only one who sort of broke through. She's the AEW interim champion right now. But on this episode of Dynamite most recently, she hardly did anything. She had a match with Serena Deeb that was fine, I guess, but nothing blow away and no sort of fire to the story. Maybe the Saraya and Paige storyline can catch fire, but we'll see. Little asterisks right here. I want to see more Joshi talent as well. I want to see Riho. I want to see Shida. I want to see Emi Sakura. I want to see those come back in, because I've missed Shida in particular, because Shida's great. She's one of my favourite women's wrestlers in the world, who seems to have just been relegated to dark elevation. She should have been in that mix, you know. She was in the 4-way, but where's she been since? It's a shame, a real shame, this one. Coming in at number 3 is something that I completely forgot about. I was walking up the stairs and it clicked. I was like, oh my God, what happened to that? And that is the Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian. Now, the Elite Hunter is a sick name. Frankie Kazarian looked sick as the Elite Hunter, but nothing was done with it. He kept losing. He was just there to be an extra guy on a team to face the Elite. That's literally all he was. And it went nowhere. It went absolutely nowhere after SCU broke up. And I really thought he'd crack into that main event scene, because he's a fantastic wrestler as Frankie Kazarian, and the gimmick itself is really cool. He should have been like taking out the Bucks, taking out Brandon Cutler, taking out potentially Kenny, because that's what an Elite Hunter does. If you're a hunter, you aim to take people out, and I don't think he did once, to my recollection, because it hasn't lived rent-free in my head. I think it was a completely wasted story and a complete waste of an awesome character and a sick gimmick. So yeah, the Elite Hunter is my number 3. And at number two we have the Impact crossover. Flashback to Winter is Coming. Kenny's just won the belt, and Don Callis says, make sure you tune into Impact on Tuesday nights. The wrestling world was set alight with speculation, rampant speculation of what was going to happen with Impact. Kenny won the belt, and that was about it. You know, he was featured occasionally on Impact shows, but the crossover and the, you know, potential that was there was so huge for it just to be an addition to Kenny's belt collector gimmick, which was a great gimmick, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like it opened the door so much wider than, you know, we thought it was. We thought the door was open and Impact guys were going to come on, and this was going to be the start of a revolution where, you know, all Impact guys and New Japan guys just come over. AEW's like free for the taking. But it wasn't. It was just essentially a prop for Kenny to win a belt and look cool and lose to Christian Cage, because then Christian Cage didn't hold the belt for very long. It went back to Moose? No, Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander won the belt and then lost to Moose. Sorry, I have something in my eye. And I can remember at the time just thinking about all the sick matchups from Impact we could get. Josh Alexander versus Jon Moxley. Moose versus Wardlow. MJF versus Eddie Edwards. There's so many tasty matchups that could have come from that, and we didn't get any on AEW TV that I can remember, like proper Impact crossover matches and this interpromotional battle that we thought we were going to get. Really big disappointment for me was the Impact crossover, and potentially going the same way with Ring of Honor at this rate, so we'll see. We shall see. And coming in at number 1. This one is my personal one. This one really hurts me. Really hurts me because I was so excited. It had so many of my favourite performers in the match. Not the match, sorry. In the team, in the faction, and it went nowhere. The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle was such a great idea. MJF's faction of FTR, Shawn Spears and Wardlow was incredible. Absolutely incredible. They looked great. They had some great video packages towards the beginning where they were getting off jets and stuff like that. Got to Blood and Guts. Got to Stadium Stampede. And it just sort of disappeared. It disappeared. And I was gutted. Because the Pinnacle was such a cool idea. I can remember when everyone was fantasy booking the heel turn of Cody, and he was going to get the 4 horsemen of AEW. He was going to get FTR, and he was probably going to get, I think it was maybe Shawn Spears or someone like that in, and we were going to have the 4 horsemen of AEW. We didn't get that, so we thought we'd got it with the Pinnacle. It's like, yes, we've got a 4 horsemen type team, rolling rich, rolling in jets, and it just didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. And I was so sad because the Pinnacle could have been a group that lasted for years. Years. FTR could still do their stuff in Japan and win all the belts. Shawn Spears could still be a part of the group. Wardlow would probably turn the same way. But the Pinnacle could have stayed together. You could have just had, flipped allegiances and flipped babyface turns and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, the Pinnacle is easily number 1 of the wasted opportunities that AEW has had. And I'm so sad. I'm so sad about the Pinnacle. Rip the Pinnacle. Wonder if you can still get a t-shirt for the Pinnacle. You probably can. Yeah, I'm sad about the Pinnacle. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know your biggest missed opportunities in AEW. Am I wrong? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.